Did you know that 64% of Americans don't have enough savings to cover a $1,000 emergency? Or that the average person spends over $18,000 on non-essential items each year? These shocking numbers highlight a big problem. Most of us aren't managing our money in a way that helps us grow. But here's the good news, it doesn't have to be this way. Imagine if, every time you got paid, you knew exactly what to do to build wealth, pay off debt faster, and even start saving without sacrificing your lifestyle. What if your paycheck could become a tool to achieve your financial goals without feeling stressed or overwhelmed? In this article, we're going to share 6 powerful strategies that will transform how you handle your paycheck. From a 5-minute ritual to turning your hobbies into cash, you'll learn how to take control of your money with simple, practical steps that anyone can do. Ready to change your financial future? Let's dive in. Chapter 1. The 5-minute paycheck ritual. Starting smart the moment you get paid. Take 5 minutes to evaluate your finances. Sounds simple, but this small habit can set the tone for the entire paycheck. It's about creating a mental space where you feel in control of your money. A study by the National Endowment for Financial Education found that people who spend a few minutes planning their finances are 50% more likely to stick to their budget. So, when your paycheck hits your account, don't dive straight into spending. Set a timer for 5 minutes and use this time to check off a few key actions. First, pay yourself by setting aside money for savings or investments. A good rule of thumb is to allocate 10-20% of your income for savings before you do anything else. Research from the Journal of Financial Planning suggests that people who automatically save first, and then pay bills, are less likely to run into money trouble. You can start small, even $20 or $50 a paycheck. The key is consistency. Over time, this small act will become second nature. By taking control of your finances first thing, you are less likely to get sidetracked by the temptation to spend. Plus, this strategy boosts your sense of financial security, knowing your savings are prioritized. Chapter 2. The 50-30-20ths that actually works, but with a twist. You've probably heard of the classic 50-30-20ths budgeting rule, right? You spend 50% on needs, 30% on wants, and 20% on savings. But what if we told you there's a better way to use this method to ensure you're actually building wealth? Let's introduce a modified version that keeps you more motivated and focused on long-term success. Instead of the generic needs and wants, split your paycheck into categories that reflect your financial goals. Think of your budget as a growth engine. Allocate 50% for planned growth, which includes essential expenses like rent and bills but also things that help you grow, like investing in yourself or side hustle expenses. You might not have thought of your gym membership or learning resources as a growth investment, but they can be. Next, 30% of your paycheck should go to creative freedom. This isn't just about spending on things you enjoy, it's about building the life you want through experiences or personal projects. This category might include classes, hobbies, or fun things that align with your long-term goals. You'll find that spending this money feels more purposeful when it's tied to what truly brings you joy and fulfillment. The last 20% goes into debt-free progress, a category solely dedicated to paying down debt or boosting your investments. According to a study by Northwestern Mutual, people who prioritize paying down debt faster are 30% more likely to reach their financial goals. So, this category is key to financial freedom. By thinking about your paycheck as a way to build future security while enjoying the present, this twist on the 50-30-20ths rule will make you feel more motivated and empowered. Chapter 3. The No Spend Week Challenge. Start small, win big. Now, let's talk about one of the most powerful ways to reset your financial habits, the No Spend Week Challenge. Have you ever stopped to think about how often small purchases drain your wallet? It's easy to let these little expenses slip through the cracks, but cutting them out for a week can have a major impact on your budget. Start with a week. Yes, just 7 days. You'll be surprised at how much you can save when you're intentional about every dollar spent. A study by the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics shows that the average American household spends over $3,000 a year on dining out. That's just one example of an area where you can cut back during a no-spend week. To make this work, prep your meals in advance. Plan your grocery shopping so that you have everything you need to avoid impulse buys. It also helps to cancel or pause subscriptions you may not be using. You'd be surprised how much can add up with recurring charges. The No Spend Week challenge works because it forces you to take a step back and truly evaluate your spending habits. What do you really need? In fact, financial expert Dave Ramsey recommends doing this challenge as a way to reset your financial priorities and get back on track. But here's the kicker: it's not about depriving yourself, it's about using your money more intentionally. You might even be surprised at how much you actually enjoy the challenge. By avoiding impulse purchases, you'll feel more in control and will likely start looking for creative ways to entertain yourself without spending money. If you're enjoying these strategies and want more ways to manage your money wisely, don't forget to subscribe for more tips on how to improve your financial routine. Chapter 4. Invisible Expenses. Spot them and stop them. Often, the biggest drain on your finances isn't big purchases, but the small, invisible expenses that add up over time. These little leaks can slowly empty your wallet without you even realizing it. According to a study by the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, 60% of people don't track their everyday spending, leading to money slipping away unnoticed. One of the sneakiest culprits is subscription services. You might think you're only spending a few bucks a month on Netflix, Spotify, or magazine subscriptions, but add them all up, and it can easily reach hundreds of dollars a year. In fact, a study by West Monroe Partners found that the average person spends around $200 a month on subscription services. It's time to audit your subscriptions. Review your bank statements and unsubscribe from those you don't use. Next, consider the small but frequent purchases you make, like coffee runs, snacks, or impulse buys online. These expenses are so routine that you probably don't think much about them. However, research from the National Bureau of Economic Research shows that people often underestimate the impact of daily spending, which can result in overspending by up to 30%. To stop these invisible expenses, make a list of everything you spend money on regularly, and challenge yourself to cut out at least one item from that list every month. One of the most effective ways to track your spending is to use an app or a simple spreadsheet. You might be surprised at how much money you can save just by cutting back on these small, habitual purchases. Once you've identified the invisible expenses, it's time to implement your new plan. Redirect the money you're no longer spending into your savings or debt reduction. According to a report by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, households that track their spending are more likely to achieve their financial goals. It's about finding awareness and taking action. These small changes add up over time, and you'll be amazed at the impact they have on your financial health. Chapter 5. Turn your hobbies into cash flow. The passive paycheck. What if you could turn your hobbies into a side income? The idea of making money from something you love might sound like a dream, but it's entirely possible. Many successful entrepreneurs started by monetizing hobbies, from photography to writing to DIY crafts. In fact, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, 1 in 3 Americans has a side hustle that generates extra income. Turning hobbies into cash flow is an underrated strategy that can boost your paycheck significantly. Let's say you love photography. Instead of just snapping photos for fun, consider selling your work on platforms like Shutterstock or Adobe Stock. These websites pay you every time someone downloads your photo. A study from the Freelancers Union found that 79% of freelancers who monetize their hobbies report higher levels of job satisfaction. Another example is teaching a skill you already know. Whether it's tutoring in a subject you excel in or offering online classes about a hobby like cooking or painting, there's likely a market for it. Websites like Teachable or Skillshare allow you to create and sell your own courses. You could be earning money while you sleep. As noted in the Side Hustle School by Chris Guillebeau, starting a side hustle with your skills can be incredibly rewarding, both financially and personally. Don't underestimate the power of small amounts of money flowing in. Even if it starts small, a few $100s a month can make a big difference. Use that income to pay off debt, fund an emergency fund, or build an investment portfolio. A study by McKinsey & Company found that people who have multiple income streams are 3 times more likely to feel financially secure. By finding ways to monetize your hobbies, you're essentially creating a passive paycheck. And, as you get more experienced and creative, your side hustle can grow into something more substantial. So, instead of spending hours scrolling through social media, why not use that time to create something you can sell? Not only will you feel more productive, but you'll also see extra cash flowing into your accounts. Chapter 6. Paycheck Redistribution. Building wealth in secret when you get paid. the first thing you do should be to redistribute your paycheck in a way that grows your wealth silently but steadily. It's all about putting your money into things that appreciate or build your financial security, even if you don't see the immediate payoff. According to personal finance expert Ramit Sethi, wealth is often built, in secret, through savings, investments, and strategic financial moves that don't draw attention but add up over time. The first step in paycheck redistribution is setting up automatic contributions to investment accounts, such as a 401k, an IRA, or a brokerage account. The beauty of automatic investments is that you're paying yourself first, without having to think about it. Research from Vanguard shows that automatic saving increases the likelihood that people will stick to their long-term investment plans. Start small, but be consistent. Even if you begin with just $50 a paycheck, it will compound over time. Warren Buffett once said, "Do not save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving." This mindset helps shift your focus from immediate spending to long-term wealth building. Additionally, consider reallocating a portion of your paycheck toward reducing high-interest debt. The quicker you eliminate debt, the more financial freedom you'll have. According to a study from the Federal Reserve, the average American household carries about $7,000 in credit card debt. By paying down this debt faster, you're not just freeing up money for future savings, you're also lowering the financial stress that often accompanies debt. The key to paycheck redistribution is to make your wealth building automatic. Set up systems that make it difficult for you to spend that extra cash. You might even want to open a high-interest savings account or a certificate of deposit, CD, for funds that you don't need immediately. Over time, these small redistributions will add up and become the foundation for your financial success. By following these 6 strategies, starting with a quick paycheck ritual, modifying your budgeting method, and challenging yourself to avoid unnecessary spending, you can transform your financial habits and set yourself up for success. If you found these tips helpful, be sure to subscribe for more insights on building wealth and living a financially smart life.